Soul Garden, and welcome to another episode of The Urban Mystic. I'm Skip Jennings. I'm your inspirational, motivational teacher right here at the Garden. Well, we are still in a big month, and we're talking about the ego. And in this month, my friends, I want you to recognize what the ego really is. We talked about it last week, but the ego is here to help us. But it's when it gets out of sorts, when it gets too inflated, and we're edging God out. We kind of talked about that last week as well. It's a term that I kind of want to tweak it a little bit. It's not really edging God out, but what is coming forth is stronger of the little self. I call it the little self versus the big self, which is God, the universe, the I am. So here we go, my friends. We're going to talk about the action plan, how to put in strong tools and practices that will lead us to bringing the ego back to right size and letting God shine. The first action word, the first action plan we're going to talk about is war. Wow. Kind of important stuff right now because we got a lot of wars that are going on. The action plan for this week is when you hear news of war, you must know that there is absolutely a capability of having peace. So when you turn on some TV network or you're hearing news or you're hearing some fights or some revolts, you have the power to speak peace into that situation. Knowing that whatever it looks like on the outside, on the inside, there too God is in the midst. And in the mix, God is peace. So we're able to speak peace into the war. Action plan. You hear war, say, I know it is, I am so sure that there is a possibility of peace, that peace is happening right now. Your next word, violence. One of the things I want to think about, I want you to think about, and I'm going to think about too, is violent acts really come from an overinflated ego. Ego is one of those things that will want you to be separate. I'm going to protect you, so move away from here. That person's not like you, so protect yourself. Lash out that person's not hearing you. When we are violent to someone else or even violent to ourselves, it is because we have an overinflated ego. When you feel like lashing out, when you feel like grabbing that person, you want to shake them, check in with your ego. And then check in with your higher self and breathe. 10 seconds before you react. Breath, God, not reacting, allow the ego to come back to right size. Let's talk about the next action word. It's called injury. The injury and the action plan around injury is healing. We have an injury. We've all been injured in our hearts, in our minds, in our spirit. Someone said something to you when you were a child that injured you the way you think about yourself, or maybe someone had left you and your heart, it's broken, injured heart, or maybe even simply you're running down the street, you trip and you twist your ankle, injury physically. We must know that we can move past the injury and heal ourselves. The healing is always within you, and I'm a Reiki master. I do a lot of healing with people on the table, and one of the things I want them to be sure is that the healing is nothing that I'm doing. I'm just activating the healing within you. Remember this, folks. All healing begins with self-healing. You can heal your life. Here's the next word we're talking about, detachment. The action plan is to begin to love and be detached from that person. Now, here's what I mean by that. Detachment doesn't mean that you don't care. Detached from an outcome is what I mean. We are sometimes invested into someone and invested to see it end up a certain way. We must love to learn without attachment. We must detach ourselves from the outcome because the outcome is not up to you, boo. It's up to God. That's the outcome, is to let God shine. More God, more love, more peace. So, can you love without attachment? Here's your next word, courage. Action plan. Take courage, my friends. You have the capabilities of changing this planet. You have the capabilities of stepping up and using your right-sized ego to say, I don't agree with that. What do you stand for? You have the right to go when they're doing some off-color jokes And you know in your spirit you should step up and say, hey, that's not cool around this workspace, or that's not cool around my desk, or kids, children, that's not cool to say that about another person. You have the courage to say you're not down with that. Action plan. Use the ego in the right way. So here we go. The last word, beginnings. Action plan, we can begin again. We can take courage and we can begin again. Whenever the ego is way inflated, take the time to bring it back and start again. I always say this, 10 seconds. We breathe, remember God, remember love. That's beginning again. Not using the ego as reactionary, but using love as the answer. Love is always the answer, y'all. Love is always the answer. Always. So here we go. 7-day challenge. Your 7-day challenge is about reaction, because we all react. I react. I drive down the 110 or the 405, and someone cuts me off, and I want to go, no! For 7 days, begin to be aware that you have a choice to either react with the ego or interact with God. Let me say that again. You have a choice with every situation to react with ego or interact with God, love, Spirit. The choice is yours. So let's go into our affirmations. Let's take some time. Let's center in, close the eyes, and just breathe. So here we go. Affirmations. Just for today. Just for this moment. Just for this breath. I know my life is expanding more God, more love, more joy. I'm going to say it again. Just for this moment. Just for this breath. Just for today. My life is expanding, emerging. More God, more love, more joy. So allow the joy to flow. Allow it to happen. Remember, everything within you is God. So you have the power to do all things. If you need a little help, check me out right here at the garden. I can help you out. I can do some one-on-one. If it's Reiki, I can do long distance, or I can do whatever. Whatever you need, we're here. But we have other practitioners around the garden. Please check out what we have to offer. We want to help you transform your mind. Here's the thing I believe. If one of us wins, we all win. We're all in this together. We're all family here at the garden, but even outside the garden, we are family. So let's help each other out. Remember, you can friend me right here at the garden, or go to Facebook or Twitter. You can catch me and send me some letters or some notes or some information. I can help you, so allow me to. And until next time, I'm Skip Jennings.
So God and